Hi guys, welcome to another very exciting Phenomenal Creations episode. My name is VK and I'm stoked to see you all again. I'm really sorry for the small delay of making videos and uploading because I'm really busy with some school projects, test weeks and such. I'll be reading a lot, so that's what my focus has been keeping on. And I'll get a lot of suggestions and video ideas from you guys, and I think that's super cool to interact you guys with that. So please comment all your suggestions down below. On point of suggestions, today I'm gonna show you a really cool effect or technique rather of a suggestion that has been suggested a few times. Is though the audio spectrum got kind of effect generation on parameters to make any kind of audio react in this digital form to anything, and I think that's a real cool. And there's a few ways you can do this, or like how to use this. Here's one example.
If some soldiers infiltrate the building, get in, get out, leave no survivors. It's your last chance, take it.
Alright, that's the one practical effect you can use in the film world, but if you're those who like music, I think you're gonna like this one too. So guys, now you have seen what we're gonna be creating today. Today I'm gonna personally create the music reaction, but you can do, it's the same technique as like anything. It's exactly the same process, I just made it to look different of one another. And you know, this tutorial is gonna have a lot of like these key shortcuts and like basic functions, you know, that I expect you to know. It's a lot easier if you know After Effects at least a bit. And if you're a totally beginner and you want to do this effect, if you want, there's a few links, a few videos I've created of After Effects basics, so I will leave annotations on the screen or links down in the description. So go check them out if you want to learn basic stuff of After Effects, and that will make this tutorial a lot more easier. So it's up to you, but if you want to go full on YOLO, watch this tutorial and I'm pretty sure you're gonna make some awesome results. Alright, then let's jump straight into After Effects, and here we are. So first we go real basic, create a composition. I have created a composition with the composition settings called the audio spectrum, just the composition name, width and height 1080p, like 1920 by 1080 and 30 frames per second and 10 seconds long, but you can do this however you want. I just have like this, and then I have like just imported my song of choice here. It's a different from the example you just saw, but it doesn't matter. Like, you can use any audio. It can be a speech, it could be a podcast, it could be a music track. It doesn't like matter. Just it has to have audio. So it has to be an audio file. Like, it has to have audio to work. That took a few times to say. So, and if you want to see the waveform of how this layer of audio is behaving, you just hit the L key twice, right, just like this, and you can see how the song or the audio track is behaving like this, and you can move it around however you want and feel like. And then we can close this up, you know, double L, and you got there. So now let's create a background. So real simple, Command Y for new solid, and if you don't want to do that, you can go right click and new solid, or layer new solid. You can do however you want, doesn't matter the color, just to make sure it's comp size, makes life easier. And then we can rename it to BG for background, and then go to effects and presets and type in 4-color and color gradient, and let's just drop in there. Let's create a real basic background here. So I go for the first color, I take some blue and make a dark bluish color. Again with the green, make more purple like, make it also a bit darker. And you can use what kind of colors you ever like feel and want. Like, it's really up to you, it doesn't really matter. But let's just make a, or then you can use an image. It's also possible, or video. It doesn't, you can use what kind of background you ever want. I feel like I can position this all around a bit, create some variation. Alright, and we can go for the blend settings and blend them in a bit together, like that, like this. And then you can see some jittering going over here, or like, you know, making these really harsh edges, which doesn't look so good. And it also depends on what kind of screen resolution you have. This is a 1080p monitor, so it's showing the color on its own way, but you can go hit the jitter to apply some noise here to smooth out those jitters and such, so that helps too. And for the sake of this project, keep this project on 16 bpc color reproduction. And if you don't know how to change this, if you have this on 8 or 32, just hold down your Alt key and like click that button and make it so it's 16, because you're getting a lot like accurate colors the more you have it. But then the file size is almost a bit bigger, but that usually doesn't bother me anyway. Then now we have our background. So let's start creating some audio reaction stuff. But first let's import our logo here. And yeah, if you like the new intro and logo, so give this video a like. I worked hard on it and I think it looks pretty good. So we have positioned our logo, and I want the audio spectrum to go around the logo. But you can do, if you have a rectangular logo or a text, you can do, because this is working off, the audio spectrum is behaving around masks. So you can do what kind of random mask you ever feel like. It doesn't have to be circular, it doesn't have to be rectangular, it could be like a star or a form of a poop. It really doesn't matter. So now we got our logo here, and let's create some audio spectrometry. Audio spectrometry. That's not even a word. Yeah. So let's go ahead and create a new solid, Command Y, and let's make it just black and call this large spectrum. Just like this. Make sure it makes comp size and hit OK. Then go for effects and presets and type in audio spectrum, which is the folder generate. If you don't want to use this way, you can go from effect, I need to select the layer, effect, generate, and audio spectrum right there. And then you can see some weird dots and lines are here. We can turn off the logo just for a second here. And now if we scroll through, we can see anything happening, even though we have audio in the background. And that's because it's so simple. We go from the audio spectrum, go for audio layer, and turn it to your song of choice audio layer, and then you can see something happening over there. So if you want to, you can hit up the waveform and see how it's behaving, and now you can see something happening. It's reacting to the audio. And if you just go, yeah, so it's reacting already to the audio. But we're gonna make this a lot more cool now. So first of all, let's go ahead and change the color here. And I want to make it like, you can use any color you just like. I want to say a blue there. And yeah, this kind of reddish, pinkish color could be good. And then we go ahead and change the frequency maximum height to a bit bigger so we can see what's happening over there. And then we can go ahead and take the frequency bands and make it like, you can make it more dense or less dense and packed, you know. You can do how many, you can get achieve some different kind of looks, but I think I could go with just 140 is pretty good. And the start and end frequency, those are pretty fun to use, because now here you can choose what you want to hear. You want to hear more bass or more highs. So no, because the less the end frequency is, the more bass you hear. If you can see here, this is just bass, and now we have like no highs here. But I have a pretty good like rule. If you take the start frequency something around 50 and end frequency something like 800, you can get a pretty good balance on bass and highs and middles and such. But you can do something like this, like 1400, but it depends on the song type and such. Just let me make it 1000. Okay, now this is pretty good. All right, so now let's go ahead and here you can also, if you wanna offset the reaction from the audio with milliseconds, so you can hear a beat and then you can make it like it's coming a bit more late, like I was doing in the first example, where you can see like this, the audio lines, and you can see some dots coming afterwards. So then I just copy pasted this audio spectrum layer to a new solid layer, and then I just like delayed it a few milliseconds, so I got it to work. Alright, so now I want to change the color to this rainbowish color I used. Then you can go to hue interpolation and just like, you can slide it over and try to achieve something cool here. I think this is pretty cool, like you get this rainbowish color. I think that's pretty fun and pretty cool. And then you can also here, if you go down to the display options, you can go from a few different you can have the digital here, or analog lines, which will look like this, the heartbeat mode. That's a pretty good look. You can use it in funny ways. Or then you can use the analog dots, which are what I explained, some dots like Morse dots, and you can use it in many different ways. So I'll just keep it digital. And then from the side options, you can go, side A and B. Side A is just like up, so you're just getting like up here, so you can then position it down and it's just going up. Or the side B obviously is just down, and the side A and B is like both ways. Alright, so now let's go ahead. Let's make this match around our logo. So we can go ahead and take our logo here, select our audio spectrum, the large spectrum layer, and go to your ellipse tool and go to the middle, click and hold, hit shift and alt, no command, and just drag it around, just around your logo, something like this. And then you can go ahead and move the mask if you need to, like this. And then you go to a large spectrum, and then you go here for path and change the none to the mask 1. And now you can see like how it's, if we just close the lion layer, so it's now moving like according to the mask, but we can see it's cutting off for the logo, like the largeness, so it's not good. I don't want this. So go for mask here and go for mask expansion and expand it like, as much as you need to 1000. If you go to maximize, so it won't interfere with any edges here. So that's pretty good. So now we can see it's like working pretty good, pretty fun here. And if we take our logo back, you can see it doesn't look that good because now it's overlapping our logo. And first of all, you can put the logo in front of everything, but then it appears back and come this kind of spikes, and I don't like this. So then what we just do, what I showed you earlier, if you go side A and B, go to side A. No, it's side B because it's inverted, of course. And now we can see it's just outside the logo. And that's pretty cool. And now at this point we can go ahead and like change something like the maximum height of our bands here. So we're getting like a lot of this kind of bands and strokes. So now let's modify a bit on the spectrum look. What I like to do is go to effects and presets and type in glow. So let's just go ahead and take the stylized glow effect. It's a real basic effect here, and select there, and we can see something happening here. Okay, we can go to full so we can see a bit better what's happening. Oh, not like that. Okay, the way we can do it, a glow threshold, like change it how much we want it to affect. Then we go to glow radius, is how much it will glow like outside the effect itself. And then we can go from glow intensity, how much you now like, 1.2, and that's pretty cool. So if we now take a look at like without glow and with glow, it brings some new life there, and I really like it. And then what we do, we can go ahead and take another glow here, or we can just duplicate the first one, and then we take the radius way up. We can change the threshold, so we can just get in like this, a small atmospherical glow here. So now it looks pretty disco, fancy, you know. And I really want to excuse me, my voice sound cracked. I know it's a bit late. It's 6 p.m. after a hard school day. I'm a bit tired, but hope that doesn't disturb you. So now we have pretty cool stuff here. Let's take down the quality to half so my computer can, yeah. So now we have like our first audio, but we can do something cool here. Let's go ahead and go for a large spectrum and then duplicate it. And then we can call them the under one to small spectrum. Okay, so now we can close the large one, go to the small one, select the audio spectrum level, open it up, you can see the parameters. And this, let's make a bit different because I want to have to like this circularized wave forming, which is just like working around the logo. Just if you saw in the opening, you can see these circles here, like circling around. Now, so I think it's because if you have two different kinds of effects, it looks pretty cool. So it's like circularized thing, what you want to call it. All right, so that's what we do. We go ahead and firstly let's check the box duration averaging. So that's what it does. It takes the average amount of frequency bands and heights and makes an average of it. So then it kind of become this, you know, more circular thing. But then what you do is if you go to the frequency bands and start to increase it, then you can see some really cool stuff happening. You can get some really interesting movement there. And if you go, you can see some really cool stuff happening over here. And if you can change the frequency, amount, and bands. You can customize however you want. Take some more frequency bands here. Okay. And if we scrub through, looks pretty fun. Let me take a maximum height a bit more up. You can like really experiment with this. So now we have this nice like formula small spectrum here. And if we now take on the large spectrum, we can see a fun combination of them too. And we can let's take the large below the small one. So it's like overlapping of each other. And this looks pretty cool actually. I could go here and select the color, take a different kind of, no, my bad. Let's go for a small spectrum and just the color looping to something different, like, you know, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it depends on how you want to make it look. And then we have a pretty basic audio reaction thing here. So let me just render this out and let's see what we have. Alright, that's something. What can go change is the end frequency. I think it's way too like harsh. I want it to be more the circular. Then we can go for glow. The glow here and change the intensity to something a bit higher. And take our threshold. Change the glow there to something else. Alright, this looks pretty cool. So, you know, you can modify this however you want and however you feel. But if you want to go, if you saw in the opening like example here, you can see the moving of, in like you can see now, in 3D space. So that's actually pretty cool. And if you want to know how to do this, I won't go so in deep depth of how to do this, but I can show you like briefly here. So what you do is you first go ahead and create a null layer, and we can just call it to camera control, and then let's create a camera. 24mm is pretty good. Click OK. And then let's turn the small spectrum to 3D, the large, and the logo. So they're all 3D now. And then we go ahead and select all of them and parent it with the pick whip tool to the camera control. So that means if now when if I scale up the camera control, or if I move the this null object right here, and yeah, of course, let's make it 3D. So now we can like move it in the 3D space, and if I rotate it in 3D space, everything else will also rotate in 3D space. So that's pretty cool. So that's basically how I did it. Then I just basically keyframed, like from this point I want from the rotation go here, I want to go like there, and from there I want to go, let's go a few frames forward, go to the other side. You can see it moving first like that, and then we can go ahead and easy ease them, or you can just go here and right click and go to keyframe system and easy ease, just like this. And then you have some more smooth motion, and then you can like blend in. You go here and take X rotation and take it halfway here and make it like go a bit here like, and when it's done here it's back to 0. So we're getting this really nice 3D motion here. Then also what we can do is we go for scale, hit that scale button, hit U on your keyboard to reveal all the keyframes, and then when you go back to the 0, so you can go ahead and take the 0 to back to 100% right there. So now it's like scaling down and moving in 3D space, so you can achieve some really funny and awesome looks here. So that's basically it. So that's the basic technique of this effect. You can go ahead anytime, go to the spectrums and like edit the values, the colors, the softness, the thickness. You can make the bars thicker or wider or anything you want. Make them softer, like more blurred. I like them sharp. And then there's so much you can do with this effect, and you can try different kind of path. Because if you go, for example, if you go ahead and take the masking tool and just make a really random path here, just like this, and then you go ahead and just select the mask 2, now you can see it's, no, not like that. So now you can see it's going through on that, on this path we just created. So you can do so much with this effect, and I hope you guys like this tutorial. Hope you guys learned something really cool out of it, and if you did, and if you're feeling like being awesome, hit that big like button just below this video, comment your own suggestions, and then don't forget to like my Facebook page, because there's coming a lot of stuff I'm starting to use the socials even more, so we'll apply like behind the scenes, free downloads, season passes, all this kind of extra stuff I will reveal on the Facebook page. So like my Facebook page, links in down the description. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter right there, and click it, or go down in the description, or just search VK Luukkonen, and there you can find I start posting tweets. I tweet all the time of filmmaking, on my everyday life. If you're interested of that, check the Twitter, follow me there, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're liking the content. Thanks guys, you are the best, you're the awesomest, and I'll see you guys in the next video tutorial. I'll see you guys next then. My name is VK, hope you have a nice time. VK signing out, peace.